Remember, I was Pandora's box. I was.
We are live. Happy New Year to everyone. Ricky Shabazz, President of San Diego City College, for our first College Council of the year, and it is set to be an exciting College Council because we have some people here who we're going to introduce momentarily, who we are so glad to announce their promotions in some cases, permanent residency in other cases. We are hiring, and I always say that one of the most important things I do as a college president is hire people. And speaking of hiring, want to welcome Angel to the San Diego City College family. I officially have a permanent administrative assistant, and that is in no way, slack to Janelli, who has done a tremendous job. But we do want her to focus on being a college student and bringing home that bachelor's degree to her family. Janelli will stick around with us probably until I run her away or she figures out that she wants to be a full-time college student and not an employee of City College, although she likes hanging out with us. She'll hang out with us until the end of the year to figure out academic. So would you mind introducing yourself?
Sure. My name is Anjali, pronounced, you can call me Angel. My last name is Ma'ua, and my pronouns are they, she, and again, I'm the executive assistant to Dr. Shabazz, and I'm really happy to be here.
Well, Angel's going to send the communication out to the campus once Angel comes to work ready for her portrait picture. Not that she isn't today, I'm sure she is. And so moving forward, continue to include Janelli in the communications, but we'll send a formal communication out to the campus. Super happy to welcome you to our City College family. We'll be introducing some other folks who are not new to anyone, but we'll be introducing their new positions with the college momentarily. I want to acknowledge that San Diego City College sits on the traditional land of the Kumeyaay Nation. We recognize the Kumeyaay people, past and present, in their land, with honor and gratitude. We are doing a number of things around social justice. Speaking of social justice, let me do introductions, roll call of many of the folks who lead those social justice efforts on campus. It looks like none of our wonderful faculty members are here, but they're probably enjoying their much deserved break. So I'm gonna say Mona, who is the president-elect, and thank you for that correction. Tilly Chavez, vice president of instruction.
Present.
And I'm going back to first names. I have no idea why I said Chavez, but Robbie, chair of institutional technology. Caesar, information officer. Present. Jay, supervisory representative. Present. Sunai is the president and chair cabinet. Susan, dean of institutional effectiveness.
Present.
D, administrative rep.
Present.
Diego isn't here either. John, vice president of administrative services. Present. Marciano, vice president of students. Here. Sean, president of classified senate.
Present.
And our president of the academic senate is not with us today. These folks are the leaders of our constituency groups here at San Diego City College. College Council is the highest level of governance at our college. And so if you would like to bring forth any agenda item, you can either email one of these amazing leaders or you can reach out to the president's office, where Angel will be announced and her email is officially in the system. So you can email her. She will be taking over for Janelli and preparing the agenda and the meeting notes for this meeting. Janelli is taking her through the ropes. For the second call of order today is the approval of the December 5th meeting minutes. Someone would like to make a motion for approval.
Motion.
So we got a first by Jay, second by D. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any want to abstain or object? Hearing none, motion carries. I'm going to turn it over to Aaron to pretty much do an update on an item that was on the agenda just a couple of weeks ago prior to the break, but as we approach the dedication of Constance Carroll, you're going to see a lot of communications, and this is just one. Aaron.
Thank you, Ricky. So for those of you who may be watching online who weren't able to watch or attend the December 5th meeting, this is just a brief update. In lieu of our spring convocation, we're actually combining spring convocation with the Constance M. Carroll AH building dedication. So that date of that event will be Thursday, January 25th. Last summer, our San Diego Community College District Board of Trustees approved the renaming of the city's AH building in honor of Chancellor Emerita Constance M. Carroll. For those of you who may not have had the privilege of knowing her, in addition to being the president at Mesa, she was also the chancellor of the San Diego Community College District for 17 years and has always been a strong advocate to social justice and a strong advocate of San Diego City College as the flagship institution of our district. And so we have a very nice event planned for that day. There'll be a public program with media on the AH Quad. And then a fairly robust list of speakers, and we have some exciting scholarships. In addition to dedicating the building in her name, this is also a fundraiser for the San Diego Promise program at the district. And we've had some interest and great support from some donors so far. Happy to report for the first time to a larger group other than our executive group. We have a large donation of $20,000 that we secured over the winter break from the San Diego Foundation to underwrite the interior signage in the building, the much needed wayfinding signage that is been designed by Cesar Gamampis and his outstanding interns and the communications team. That will also, in addition to the wayfinding signage, pay honor to Constance's legacy as a social advocate and social justice advocate and as our chancellor. And so we're very excited to report on that. As I mentioned,
We should clap for that. That is.
In addition to the public program that will happen, we'll have a donor reception in the art gallery at 10 a.m. So more communications will come out on the email from me for that for everyone. But important thing to remember is I have a wonderful program dedicating the building to Constance. It will be our spring convocation. There is flex credit available. You'll see that for the item that goes out to all of the DLs. Any faculty members can assign or receive their flex credit for a spring convocation at that event. And if anybody has any questions or would like to donate to the scholarship programs, they can please feel free to contact me once they receive this.
Any questions for Aaron? So we would like your help, frankly, we need your help in making sure that we get the word out, about the event to all of the event is open to everyone. We'll close down the offices during the time. So we need to make sure that we have the proper signs up. This is a campus event, so all are welcome. Aaron did a mailing to retirees. So if you know any retirees from the college, we're also inviting them back. And Cesar and his team are either going to be mailing out or have mailed out the convocation information to all of the current employees of the, well, actually, I think it goes out to the faculty. And Aaron has been sending emails, regular emails about this as well. So this is a large event to kick off our spring semester. Any questions about that? Anything else, Aaron, you want to add?
I would just encourage everybody to attend. If you're so inclined to donate, all of the donations, 100% will go to underwriting Promise scholarships for our students. So we hope to see you all there.
Thank you, Aaron. We have the vice president going to give an update on hiring. A lot of hiring is finally starting to materialize. People we offer positions are going to be starting in the spring. And I don't necessarily like to have people start in the spring. I'd like to have them all start in the fall so that they can start as a cohort. But be it as it may, when you're hiring nearly 1/3 of the employees at the college, it's just nearly impossible. We'd be doing interviews all day, every day. And so we have a large cohort, a rather large cohort. I think the largest spring cohort that I've seen in my time here in the district. And for all those managers who are hiring, please make sure that Robbie gets the names of the employees, because we do a nice welcome letter that should be mailed to the homes of everyone who we hire. The vice presidents are gonna go over the folks that they are hiring, provide an update, and some of those individuals are in the room. And so I'm going to start with John Parker to provide an update on hiring and introduce his newest manager. Is there?
Our newest manager, yes, and I just wanted to piggyback on what you mentioned in terms of hiring. We've done the most hiring actually, probably ever the last couple of years. Just going back to 2022 July, so about a year and a half or so, we're up to 95 new hires this year and a half. That doesn't count the prior years, which puts us prior year, which puts us at about 110 or 15 or so. So we're at 95, and we'll discuss the breakdown later, but I just wanted to add that to your point. Happy to say, guys, as you know, we had our first wedding here on campus.
You got married?
It was beautiful, it was successful, it exceeded everyone's expectations. We've had swap meets on campus, one just this past weekend at parking lot 3, at the top of parking lot 3. We've had construction combines, we've had a lot of events on campus. With that, as we've been discussing, we need to hire someone to manage all of our events to take it.
You mean you can't do all of that?
The next level. No, we cannot do that in our spare time. And since our wedding and these swap meets, the phone has been ringing off of the hook to get us booked for more weddings and other events. With that, we have hired our new director of college facilities and operations, and I'm happy to introduce Jay Purnell as our. Who have worked with Jay. He's been with the district for a while now. He's former military. I love it. I love working with our vets. Very regimented, very disciplined, very organized, and Jay's representation precedes himself and just getting things done.
Yes.
Keep in mind, works for the district, but at the campus level, what was the de facto director, working with Ginger as the coordinator of events, and that wasn't even part of his purview, but he was getting it done. So we thank you for all of your efforts. It's well deserved, Jay. We're happy to have you. Thank you. Pardon me? No.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
You're ours now.
Jay is ours. He's a campus college facilities and operations director.
I'll send information on how to join the management association.
Yeah.
And if I could say a couple of things about Jay, I echo everything that John has said. Total team player, but also a student at San Diego City College. You know, I've seen him in a number of classes, and that says a lot, because a lot of times folks say they want promotions, but are we willing to do what it takes to put ourselves in a position? And Jay did this on his own accord. Communications, Chicano studies, pursuing his associate's degree, furthering his education, committed to this work that we do, and is a great story for all the reasons that John Parker has already said. But just wanted to add, he is a City College student right now. Also want to share that I wanted to get announcements out to people, and bless their hearts, Human Resources has taken a little longer than any of us are comfortable. And so I actually had hoped that John Parker, maybe he did, would let Jay know prior to the holiday season And I just couldn't take it anymore, so I shot Jay a text. Was it New Year's? It was New Year's. I shot him a text and just said, hey, welcome to the team, congratulations, you got the job. And his answer was classic. And at that point, I realized that John Parker probably hadn't told him that he got the job. But John was included in the text as well. So again, congratulations, Jay. Could be more happy for you. And definitely well deserving all of the hard work, dedication to our students and our campus. Looking for bigger and better things because his job does require to put the college out front of people who wouldn't think of having a wedding or a swap meet or some of these other activities. So that's a fancy way to say that Jay gotta go make some money. And specifically his position frankly requires that he pay for himself, that he generates enough revenue. And in a perfect world, we know that Jay is going to do a great job, which will allow Jay to hire more people to work in his unit to include students. And, you know, we have plans for Jay to have an entire team that just does set up and take down. So he'll get to go to some wedding, what do they call it? Shows, wedding shows and other events to start promoting the college. And so it's important to know that those are watching on YouTube and all of us, we all know somebody who's looking for a wedding venue. We all know someone who's looking for a venue to host a conference, or that's what Jay is going to be doing, is making sure that we have brochures and videos and booking people to have their events. And we offer, because this is now officially a commercial, like we offer competitive rates in downtown San Diego, folks. And so that is going to be part of what Jay does. Jay, anything you want to add or share?
I just want to say thank you. I mean, I've been with the district for 17 years, and I think to anybody out there that strives to grow, and I'm a plumber by trade. Started as a plumber here, I worked my way through the food chain. I got here at City College, and, you know, coming from facilities, because there's, you know, facilities and the campuses were, you know, were different. But I think when I got here, I guess one of the things I'm proud of is I built a bridge between us. Facilities and started building relationships and got a better understanding of how the campus runs. And I also feel more, but I feel part of the campus. I feel part of the campus. Has it been, you know, I mean, whole life we're family, and you know, families argue, but it's all been good. And I just appreciate the fact that, you know, we're all at the mindset that we can sit down, whether it's a good conversation or bad, and we can work it out here. But I appreciate everybody that I've worked with here for the past 6 years. I know we're gonna do good things. There's a lot on our plate we want to do. But just thank you, and I appreciate your confidence.
Welcome to the dark side. Be careful what you ask for, Jay. You might get it. Next, I'm gonna turn over to Tilly to make 2 introductions of folks who also are not new to people, but we're gonna formalize this. Tilly.
Great, and then we'll go over the document.
You can do both. Yeah.
Well, I can wait, we can come back to this, sure. So it is my pleasure, I don't have a big introduction like John about a wedding and what have you. But I do have other things, you know, and I will just share that. Ricky gets really excited, as well as we all do, but I just love watching that energy and like the fact that as soon as he started talking about it, he was gonna text you, or, you know, I was like, yes, he always has something to kind of shine out there, like when you least expect it. So I think it was even finalizing on the holiday party. I mean, there wasn't even any ink yet. And on the holiday party, I'm having a conversation with Andy to try to help him get ready what we have to do next. And here comes Ricky right behind him to just make the announcement that we've selected our new Dean of Arts and Humanities. And I was taken for without a word in my mouth. I looked at Andy and I was just like, you're on your own. I was really just.
You wanted to come work here, right?
So Andy McGill, do you want to introduce?
Sure, and I've explained that, I was texting people what happened that day, and people were just amazed at that story, and they love you already and haven't met you. But I certainly felt really welcome, and I also was speechless at that time. I was speechless. And, you know, you said, I want him to introduce himself as the new dean, and I didn't have any words. Whoa. But, I did get the official call last Thursday. And they were laughing, it was Gabby, she was laughing. And she was asking me, I'm sure I didn't want to stay at Mesa because I worked with her at Mesa as the person who, you know, when we hired people. And I said yes. And so she was really happy for me, but it was interesting to get that call and she was laughing.
Yeah.
But I just want to say, I've felt so welcome here since the first day that I stepped on the campus. And what I love about this campus is it's alive. There's so many things happening in that school that I am so honored to be able to provide some leadership to. There's just so many amazing people in there. You know, at an institution of higher education, there's gonna be discussions, there's gonna be different ways of doing anything, and that's what I think is really great about that school, is there's a lot of different ideas. And I think the enrollment's starting to look up, and I'm really excited about that. It's a huge schedule, and that really excites me, and I'm working with all the chairs. But I just really have to say, the welcome that I've gotten here, I mean, from the first day I thought, oh, I want to stay here. And thank you so much for allowing me this opportunity. I have a great boss, I have a great president, and Marciano's okay too. No, but I just, everybody here.
Nobody cares about money.
Well, John Parker's introduced me to a couple of restaurants already that I go to all the time. So, no, but I just want to thank you so much. I'm very happy to be here.
Thank you. And then the second one we have today, it is, I'm just gonna ask you if he wants to share a little bit with me, but we've been on a journey for 2 years? 2 years. That was 2 years to locate and identify our professional development coordinator in South here, but it's the professional learning coordinator officially. I am so proud and excited to introduce Marco Anzuris. Marco has really done, you've really just made the rounds around this campus in many ways. Let's even mention our soccer team, right? Our women's team, cross country, excuse me. Cross country, where do I go with that one? Cross country, but
Just get a new job.
I know, but not to mention that when I met you, when I first arrived, there was always something with PD that you were doing. You were working with the collaborative teams. Next thing I know, you're all of a sudden all over and we're talking all over accreditation. So I've never seen anyone to really help try to keep people accountable to their duties and what they had to do. So kudos to you on all of those things that you've done. And now I just know that you're going to do some wonderful things at this campus with the PD Center and the PD area. Do you want to jump in at all, Ron?
You said it all, you said for, Marco has a unique quality of connecting people. And we're really looking forward to it.
Very good. Well, please.
I'm Marco Anzuris, and I was our women's cross-country coach for nearly 10 years now. And did a bunch of other things too to help support the college. I think that was the part that I liked the most. It was expressed very welcoming, and so as a part-time faculty member, I felt included in those opportunities, and I love challenges, so I'm looking forward to this new one, supporting everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. I will say that yesterday, Robbie and I were looking over a couple of different things, and we were going over the onboarding schedule that Robbie had actually developed for February 22nd, 2020. We thought we had somebody coming on board, and it didn't happen. That was like the second time, and we both looked at it last night and said, oh, that's almost a year ago today, but we had already had the onboarding ready. So we do have quite a bit extended onboarding set up for you this semester. Hopefully the college will work with getting things on the calendar appropriately, so we'll meet on that again.
If I could just share real quick, also wanna congratulate Marco because of his persistence. I would suggest any adjunct who wants to be a full-time faculty member, if you wanna know a process that you could model of persistence and dedication, Marco is an example of that. I won't share the full story, but he also got a advance notice that he was going to the position. It was very fulfilling to me to be able to share with him when he was meeting with me on another topic. That's how I started the entire conversation. And I could tell he was overwhelmed that he was not expecting for me to make that announcement. And it was my pleasure to be able to do so in a very similar way that I did with the other folks. And just 3 amazing hires really 4 amazing hires for our college. And it really celebrates the diversity that we say and we put into practice. A lot of folks talk about diversity, but this is living proof that this college goes above and beyond to ensure that our employees reflect the diversity of our students. And that'll lead us into the vice president's provided an update on other hires. I'm gonna let Tilly go. I'm gonna ask Tilly to go first, and we'll go back around.
Blue part or?
Let's start. Can we start with the other document? Well, I will say that, but you know what? I don't mind saying on the record that human resources works for us. We don't work for them. And if you find yourself in a situation where you work for them, it's for a whole other reason. But with that said.
So we have 2 documents in our packets. We're gonna go with the one that says new faculty hires. 2023, 2024, and I apologize for the format on there, but it was really just to kind of give a visual of where we are, what we're looking at. There have been many more hires, but these are just looking at faculty at the moment. And Robbie, I hope this is also helpful because you get a whole bunch of these on the list and it's really sometimes hard to decipher where they're coming and where they're going. So what we did is on the new hire, faculty hire, you can see that through instruction and student services in the fall, we actually hired 8 faculty. Try to put all their names on there as best we can. There were more hires, but this is faculty. So between Marciano's area and my area, we brought on all of these different faculty, and some of them were actually coming on board, teaching still maybe an adjunct course before they could, because they weren't getting onboarded all the way through, still barely getting job offers and classes were given. So it was like all the way to the very end. And then in spring so far that we have already acquired and hired 6 more faculty that are coming on board. Marco, I put you in this category as well. And then we have quite a few others that are up and hired. Student health nurse there is different than the nursing faculty. I just want to make sure some people got to. The student health nurse is in our student health center. And we look forward to bringing them on board, stuff like that. So then there are upcoming this semester that are in recruitment. These will probably, majority of them come on board in fall, right? Because of where we are in the recruitments with them, but there are 9 faculty, 9 that are already out there and someplace in recruitment. So I just wanted to share those, and I did have to put into the econ. Make sure I have final interviews coming up in a few weeks. So that one will come up forward to the spring. Questions about the faculty hires?
And as folks are hired, I want to send a very strong message about the New Hire Institute and it not being optional, that people should plan to attend. That is where we go into this discussion about culture and investing in your professional development. And I really requested that Robbie, under his leadership, that we move away from, and we do this and we do that, and really invest in things like investments. And you should start investing right now, because one day you're going to want to retire, buying a home, and other, discussions that show that we really do care about you as a human being. Now, of course, we're gonna give you in financial aid does this and the library does that, but that's secondary to a discussion about putting some of our most actively engaged, either retirees or employees, in front of the other people to carry you through this first year. Then lastly, the new hires have an opportunity to develop a culminating project. This is your college. What would you do to make it better? You come with a fresh set of eyes that lends itself to a discussion of what would make the campus better. So please don't skip out on that. Certainly, I'm not necessarily saying for those who were here already, right? So Jay, you don't have to go through it. You've been here already, but folks who have not, Marco is going to be facilitating it and going through it at the same time. So please don't, skip out on that. Look for communications from Robbie and his team to attend the event.
I want to come back to that. You said don't skip out on it, but at the same time, I really am I'm requesting all managers that if you have people that are going through the New Hire Institute, to please support it. So I like the idea of don't skip out on it, but at the same time, right, people need to be able to come. And sometimes people are not showing up because they can't get out of their work or whatever that might be, but can we work on it? How can we work on that? So, because we know how many events there are throughout the semester, and it's not every week, it's not every day. So how can we better?
Well, this is one where we can involve and utilize the Ricky said. Ricky said, I need to be at the new hire.
There we go.
Campus. But you want to go, and certainly this, and I know we're going to hear it. There are some student services people on the list that Tilly just happened to introduce. But Marciano's also involved in hiring both faculty and classified professionals. And you have a dean acting out there. You want to talk about that? And maybe you can start with the blue list.
Yeah.
All right. So I hope many folks know Juan Carlos Reyna has taken a new job. So we now have a post, or we had a posting that closed yesterday for an acting interim dean of student development and matriculation. So I am happy to say we had lots of folks that applied. And so the committee is reviewing that, and we'll be doing interviews next week. So the hope is to have someone on board at the beginning of February in an acting role. And then we will shortly thereafter post the permanent position so that we can go out for recruitment for that, and hopefully have that done sometime in mid to late spring for someone to do that. We were fortunate enough in the fall to hire several counselors. We had, which we went through our process of the transfer process. And so we had Amber, who joined us from Mesa College, and Kirk, who joined us from Miramar College, join us as general counselors. And then we had our new director of student health, Elaine, who also transferred over and joined us from Miramar. So lots of folks are leaving other colleges to come here. That's all I'm gonna say. Thank you, Andy.
Okay.
See, you're on to something, Andy.
Wait, who's keeping track of that?
I am. I am. No, but we're really excited. And then we had Ismael Carrillo, who was another adjunct counselor who joined us as an EOPF counselor. So we have that. And then in the spring, as Tilly mentioned, we got our new student health nurse, Ben, who's going to be joining us. So on the blue sheet that you all have, if, as you can see, we are still in recruitment for, some positions, in the middle section. We're still looking for, at least on the student services side, the SBS counselor. So that position is posted and, should be closing, I think, in the next, couple weeks here. We also have, student services assistant in EOPF. We have a new Next Up, coordinator, a faculty position in EOPF, so that gets posted. We've got we're doing interviews next week for our 2 other counselors, our Black Student Success Coordinator and our Latinx Student Success Coordinator. So those are positions that will be posted. We also have our Student Services Supervisor and admissions that is posted. So all of them are listed on here. All that to say is we've got a lot of positions. If you look at the column on the left, you can see, I mean, it goes on to, I think there's 5 or 6 pages of folks that we've hired, but we still have, almost 2.5 pages of folks that we're in the process of hiring. We've got a lot of things in recruitment. And we know that we've got some pending things that are coming open. We've got some folks that have left us, and those positions are going to get posted as well. So lots of hiring, and we're excited about all the new folks that have drunk the Kool-Aid and realized that Finney is the place to be.
And if I can, Ricky, I just want to, John Parker helped me to understand the blue sheet again today. Do you want to go ahead and talk about a little bit, like, how are they, some of them are here, but the other list we've been hired?
Yeah, so the blue sheet is everything that's in people admin right now, as of the 5th, January the 5th, last Friday. So you'll notice that you're still in there as pending, even though paperwork has been submitted. And once it is entered into people admin, so there's a little bit of a lag with some of our newer employees. We want to make sure that it's official because it's so is that what you were?
Yes, I am. And so that way people are looking and going, what, you just said they're hired.
Yes.
And so when you look at that, there's quite a few still in recruitment. Some of them are moving over shortly. Then as we continue to move people on, they'll either come on in pending where we are, and that just follows that process. I just wanted to also iterate that we have, between Marciano's area and my own, we both have a total of 3 admin assistant 4 positions, right? 3 of them. He's got 1 and I've got 2 open. So I just wanted to put that out there that we're in recruitment for those.
We're hiring.
We're hiring. We are hiring. So if we couldn't create that the hiring process was done in about 2 days, they'd be here already. But we have to go through this thing called process. And it does take time. So John, did you want to add anything else about?
No, I did want to add on to what you're saying about we're hiring, common theme. We currently have 49 vacancies as of Friday that we're looking to fill. 19 are classified, 22 are faculty, 4 managers, and 4 are SPOM. I think that'll be 49 vacancies that we're. So we can take.
Across all levels.
Yes.
Repeat that number again, because somebody's gonna say you're not hiring any classified, you're only hiring faculty.
So this changes from week to week, but as of this week, 19 classified, 22.
So all the Nances out there
Yes.
that are listening to this,
Yes,
there are full-time opportunities to work here at San Diego City College.
there certainly are 22, let me repeat, 19 classified, 22 faculty, 4 management, 4 SPA. Now, getting back to the Nances, not only that, in the last year and a half of those 95 employees, 16 of them have gone from dance to contract.
Oh,
One more time for the people in the back, they didn't hear.
16 from dance to contract.
You mean we hire Nans?
We hire a lot of dances.
whoa.
Any questions about hiring? It is important, and I'll share this again later with the managers. If you have a vacancy and it is not posted, I would put a rush on that. The governor's budget is going to come out tomorrow. Preliminary budget. We do not know what to expect tomorrow. But if I had a crystal ball, We know that revenues are down in the state. And so it is so important for us to make it a priority to fill these vacancies, because at any point, we could have to put a pause on this. Now, I don't want somebody running away and saying, Ricky said there's gonna be a hiring freeze. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I cannot predict what's going to happen. Right now, the revenues are down. We haven't officially made any assessment because we don't know what the governor's budget is going to look like. But what I do know is that if it's not posted, then it can't get filled. And the ones that are likely to not get filled, if something were to happen, would be those that are not posted. So please, if you have a vacancy, go through the process. There's a whole hiring document and how to hire on the website. You can just Google it, you go on Boyd Business Services. I actually wrote that myself. Probably wasn't a good idea to write it myself. But I did it myself, trying to give the vice presidents an opportunity to work on their respective areas. We absolutely hire classified professionals. We promote from within. You see that we both promoted folks who are here, as well as stolen some people. We only steal good people though. And so with that said, any,
Can I add?
please.
So I gave the numbers for Nancy contract. I also want to add adjunct contract 19
Wow.
in that same time.
John, came with the data today.
Yes.
Your evaluation must be coming up.
It is.
No, and we run programs here to help Nancy's and adjuncts go to full-time. And that's a perfect segue to number 5. We know Black History Month is coming up, much like all of our cultural celebrations. There'll be a calendar. I hope that we would have the calendar today. We will bring the calendar in our first meeting in February. But an event is coming up before that first meeting, which is the Black Educators Networking event, which is our 2nd annual. This event is open to anyone. We had around 250 people last year from every background, right? So when we have these cultural celebrations, they are not exclusive. They're come to learn, they're an opportunity to learn about another culture. And so this particular event is going to feature a panel of vice presidents from throughout our district. Actually, we have a vice president from Human Resources at,
Miracosta College.
I don't know why I wanted to say Palomar. Miracosta College. There will be representatives from all of the Seneca colleges. If you know someone looking for a job, matter of fact, I understand that Angela actually came to this event last year. And so we actually hire people who come to this event. So if you know someone looking for a job, this year will be a little different. That an organization by the name of NANDY will be putting on workshops. An organization by the name of Amend will be putting on workshops. And so we invite anyone, regardless of their background, ethnicity, culture, gender, sexual orientation. If you want a job, you just heard we hire, please come to this event. Invite your friends, invite your families. There will be food trucks, there will be entertainment. It's a family atmosphere here at San Diego City College, so we invite you to come on February the 9th. The flyer is on the YouTube right now. And then there are other events. We're also going to be sponsoring, I've tried to do this a couple of different times and it's been hit or miss, but we're going to be sponsoring a Black employee mixer. Again, open to anyone. We have people who we've hired, you just heard the number, over 100 across the college, and many of these folks were hired during the pandemic. And I heard there was a little birdie out there that said we only had 5 Black faculty. That just simply is not accurate. And so what I realized is that some people just don't know where they are. And so we're inviting all of the employees to come and get to know our Black employees, let them know that this is an anti-racist environment. And anti-racist means anti any racism toward any specific group. And so the way to get to know and support our new folks is to come to an event like this. We're going to be doing this for other populations throughout the number of cultural months and activities that we have here at San Diego City College. We're going to look out for a flyer that Caesar is going to be putting out, and we'll be doing a direct mail campaign to the employees. But all of these events are open. We are an inclusive environment, and we wouldn't have it any other way here at San Diego City College. With that, I want to open it up for other announcements that people may have. If you happen to have any.
I just have one MLK parade on
Yes.
Sunday.
Yes.
It is, the check-in time is between 8:30 and 9:30. And then we have, the parade, we kick off at 10. There was an email that came out from Dean Menchaca at the district, asking folks to sign up where you can, indicate your t-shirt size. But we're really excited to be there. If you've not been to the parade in the past, it's a very short route. It's 1.2 miles. It's not a.
It's not a marathon, a
it's not
mini marathon, half marathon.
But it's really fun. It's
Yeah.
really, it has a really, big community feel to it. And one of the things that we've done differently in the last couple of years since the pandemic has really been, that we can now march together as a district, where we used to do it together. We used to do individual colleges. Now we really have kind of united, behind, well, we have two floats. We have a district float, and then CE does theirs because they're welding students as part of their project, create their float. But we really need the support of our staff. And feel free to bring your family, your friends, your neighbors, anyone that you
Your
want
dog,
to march with
your
us.
cat,
But,
any other animals, as long as they don't bite.
this is absolutely a community event, and we need the support of everyone to come in and come out and support March with us. So Sunday, by the Embarcadero, starting at 9:30, or you have to be there by 9:30. We kick off at 10.
And I just want to add, thank you, Marciano, for that, because Dee, I want to challenge our nursing department. And I also want to shout out, and I'm going to challenge a couple others. I want to shout out Miss Charles. Every year I've been here, the basketball team has showed up. I want to challenge all of our coaches. I'll ask our deans to your special populations, send an email to the coordinators over there. I know when I arrived at City College, when I went to places, the nursing department, I love seeing our nurses, whether it be at the fair or doing a veteran events. I think the most recent one was the Thanksgiving turkey giveaway at Bayview Church. Same with cosmetology. Cosmetology would be out in force. This is a great way to interact with the community. So if you are over a cohort of students, please come yourself and bring your students with you. I can tell you it would make a huge impact to see. I mean, can you imagine getting 20 or 30 of our nursing students or 20 or 30 of our cosmetology students? Now, I know Miss Charlotte's gonna have the basketball team. They've been there every year, but what about the other coaches, the baseball team? I mean, we have other teams, softball, I mean, we have other teams that could join us. So I just want to challenge everyone who has the ability to bring a group to do so, please. It is a great community activity. And it's every time we walk, most of those folks are City College alums. So it does a great honor for us to be able to show up and show out for this event. Any other updates or announcements? Well, hearing none, I say Happy New Year to everyone. Janelle, remind me the first college council of the academic semester is
Tuesday, February 6th, and it occurs every other Tuesday at the same time until the end of May.
great. So we'll see you all on February 6th. Take care, everyone.